Well, many times recently we've taken you to Alice Springs to show you the reality of the town's crime crisis. A fed-up community was over the government inability to control youth delinquency and was begging for intervention. Seemingly lost in all of this was the impact it had on the young people themselves. Earlier this year, during one of our chats with Action for Alice's Darren Clark, well, he introduced us to a friend of his.
The young fella here, young Scotty. Now this is an example young fella. He comes to my bakery every day. I'll give him
Tell me about him, Darren. Does he want to talk with you? Talk with us?
Do you want to talk, mate? Hey, you tell your story, mate.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
From Alice Springs, and like it's been pretty, been a little bit bad in Alice Springs. So sometimes, like I used to like walk around town with my friends and everyone, but like now I don't feel safe or anything.
Joining me live now is Action for Alice's Darren Clark. I've got a smile on my face seeing that. I remember that, Darren, you warned me that might not be a good idea to do such a thing on live television, but here he is now. You've employed him.
Yeah, I've got him in law. Yeah.
What's he doing?
Pretty good story, mate.
What's he doing for you?
Oh, at the moment, he's just help the girls make about 400 pasties. So he's out there now putting the egg wash on them, ready to go in the oven. So as a 13-year-old, he's picked it up. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. And we're showing you this today because I know you want to make this a bit of a thing. You've often brought us some of the worst news from Alice Springs, but it's important to concentrate on good stories like these too.
Yeah, look, Laura, we've just got to change the narrative in this town. Look, I've displayed, and a lot of the media across Australia now, including you guys at Sky, have done a fabulous job in highlighting our problems here. But you know, we've got to heal a bit now. Everyone knows the problems. We need some solutions. And as you can see there, young Scotty, we've got to embrace these youth, and we've got to help them out. I get quite emotional, as you know.
You do. You're always crying, and I love it because it shows us that you're still passionate, which I know that never waned at all. But followers of you and viewers here at Sky News will know that you put a post on the Facebook page saying that you just wanted to take a step back for a while. You'll still be talking to us.
Yes.
You won't be going away, but just if you can, talk about how full on it has been for you as well.
Well, my journey with this page, Laura, started over 3.5 years ago now, and before that, probably about 8 months, I was talking to government and trying to get some attention, and then I started the page up. So 3.5 years. So it was about 3 years to January when the national media landed here in January, when the height of our problems were. So it's been quite a slog, and since January, you know, I was getting 2 hours sleep a night. The page just went off. It was, 120, 150 messages per day. Plus, every media outlet in Australia wanted an interview or wanted an insight into our problems. I spent a lot of time on the streets with a few journos, trusted journos, including Matt Cunningham from Sky and Liam from Mendez from The Australian, and we've done some really, really incisive journalism there. They did. It was great what they exposed and showed Australia what's going on here. But it took a toll on me. I was knackered. To put it bluntly, I was absolutely knackered. A couple of hours not sleep a night, not spending any time with people close to me, my partner, my mates. My mates hadn't had a beer with me for a long time. So that's not important to me in life, having a beer, but it's the social part of it and your friendships and being there for your mates as well. I'm lucky I've got some very good mates that have stuck by me through this, and were there when it all became a bit too much about a month ago.
Yeah.
But we want to turn this around, Laura. We've got a page with 70,000 followers, you know, and that's not easy to come by in social media. So we want to do a positive now for a little while. Things are still happening in this town. That's okay. That's up to the police and to the government to sort out, and they're gonna have to do that themselves. But it's up to the community here also. And what I'm trying to do now is lead the way in solutions. I've had this idea with a young youth around town is to bring them into a hub overnight, get them off the streets. Then we have a training centre in the bakery and food industry. And then we eventually have them in a production facility where we can supply remote communities and have our retail outlet here and have the young girls that are on the streets, the black sock girls, we can have them serving the public, you know, and the tourists would love that. And a lot of people around Australia have seen our problems, and I think they'd love to be able to see the way that we're going to work our way out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to lead the way, Laura, and hopefully then a few other businesses. I know they're keen to do it, whether it be mechanics or whatever like that. If we can just start the cycle of change, spend a bit of time with these kids. Young Scotty, we have a coffee every morning before we start. We call it the meeting. We go over the milk crates. He has his hot chocolate. We have a few chats. So I ask him what happens every day after work. The other day, he's in the supermarket with his little mate, and a bloke, a guy said to him, "What are you little thieves up to?" And so Scotty, this is how all these young Indigenous youth now, you know, they're labelled as thieves, as troublemakers and whatever. And Scotty was quite hurt by that. So
yeah,
I just said to him, next time you just stop, Scotty, and you say, "Mister, I'm not a thief. I go to school and I've got a job."
Well, that's some pretty good advice, I reckon. Scotty, it's been amazing to see Scotty's journey with you as well, and we've got limited time here, so I just want to ask you this last question, because I know and you know that whenever you came on this program, politicians in the Territory at a federal level would be quite nervous about it. But you've been able to make some headway behind the scenes. I believe you've even had a meeting with Natasha Files. Was that successful?
Yeah, well, you've got to build bridges, Laura. Like we can't keep, like I said to Natasha, I've belted you around the ankles, you know, enough. I've got your attention. Everyone, the pressure's on you guys now to actually do something. But we're here and I'm here to come up with solutions and to be able to assist the government to do this.
Yeah.
And we can have a community-led solution here. So they are the government of the day. And so that's who we've got to work with. We can't work with the opposition, and I don't think they've got the solutions either. So we have to build those relationships, and Natasha has to get around and talk to the general public here and find out what is actually going on, and just spend some time with these youths, not in organisations where they're sheltered and she can't sit down and talk with them. Pull up a milk crate out the back of my bakery and sit down with Scotty, and he'll tell you some stuff and just get an insight to his life. This kid, when he was 3 months, he was left in a riverbed by a fire by his drunk mother. He's been with his foster carers now, and he's 13 now. Look at him. Pretty special.
Certainly is, and it's great to have you back on the show. We'll see you soon, Darren. Always got a platform here.
Good on you, Laura.